Hey everybody, so I decided to do a little review for Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. Needless to say, I haven't read this since high school. Just keeping in mind that this is my review, this is my interpretation of it, this is not like an analysis or anything like that in a professional sense. It's more along the lines of how I receive the book and how I perceive it and how it appears to me. First of all, there is a word in this book that is outdated and out old-fashioned, and that is the R word that we have come to grow to not like anymore. And it is outlined in this entirety because it is focused on intelligence and mental stimulation and challenges, if you will. There's a lot of moral biases that are heavily influenced with like religion in here as well. It doesn't like specifically like go into religion, but it does mention God once in a while. It does have somebody with dementia in here, and shows the effects of how dementia can be affected to people because of their past experiences. It also has a few parts in there where there's lust versus love versus affection and ideologies of love, feeling stupid, recalling memories, astral projection, remote viewing. There's even a few cases of wanting to learn and wanting to understand and not wanting to let go of the knowledge. There's even a reference of the tree of life with Adam, Eve, and the tree of knowledge in here. This takes place in like Central Park, New York area. This guy, basically what he does is he goes and signs up for this shot or experiment or operation or something like that, to where they end up going through this whole operation to make him smarter. And then he realizes towards the 2/3 of the book, that the more intelligent they become over the time, the faster it will regress backwards. So let's say he started at like 70 IQ like he did, and he goes to 180. As fast as he jumped from 70 to 180, he'll jump from 180 back to 70. Being treated like an experiment, not being treated as a human because of your mental intelligence or your mental stimulation or lack thereof. Wanting people to like you so much that you're laughing at yourself because of it. Wanting to have friends at the cost of your own intelligence, but not at the cost of knowledge. There is a very big distinction between knowledge and intelligence. It does look like there's a lot of emotionally driven conversations through here. There's a lot of seeing the world through different eyes, and empathy and understanding and inclusivity and diversity within it. But it also shows exclusion and alienation and feeling like an outcast and feeling exiled. Deceiving your parents because you can't face the truth of what you've done to them or how you feel like you've done to them. There was a lot of like parallels in this with it, especially with me and Charlie a few times, because of the fact that we've lost friends and we scare people off because we're really standoffish, really avoidant, and we're really like blunt when it comes to things. A few of us, as in like the DID system, and then a few of us related to Alice and the way that she was treating Charlie. Emotional vulnerability. Charlie and I share the fear of being trapped, the fear of being entrapment, the fear of restrictions and limitations, and the fear of not being liked, the fear of missing out, the fear of what would happen if I had done something differently. It's all basically, he goes from, I don't want to say stupid, from an IQ of 70 to 180 back to 70. And he even admits in some of his progress reports that he doesn't recognize his own writing, he doesn't recognize his own voice, he doesn't recognize much of what he is. But he does have like bits of dissociation where he can see himself in a mirror or see himself in a doorway or a window, as if he and this little Charlie are two different entities. So it's also pushing for inner child healing and growth and enlightenment and reincarnation. The egg was symbolic as well. It reminds me of like Easter and reincarnation and rebirth, and like um, theism, theology, pantheism mainly. There's a lot of like scientific mindsets that are limited in here because they are treating Charlie like an experiment instead of a human being. Algernon is the little mousey that Charlie grows fond of. He ends up escaping with the rat, or the mouse, excuse me, for a little bit. Just running away to try and get his mind back to where he feels like it needs to be. People check up on him, and he can kind of sort of tell at this point because he's starting to slowly come back down to slow-mindedness, we'll say. And he can tell that they're just checking in on him, but he doesn't want to go away. And he lied to Alice and said that he doesn't want to see her anymore just because he doesn't like who he's become, and he doesn't want to scare her. There's a lot of references to, if I know my past and I know my future, then I know where I've come and where I have been, and I can find out the wins, whys, and hows a lot faster. One thing I particularly noticed was that he is very sensitive to laughter, or being laughed at after the experiment, but not beforehand. Beforehand, he just thought they were just laughing with him. After he grew smarter, he realized that they were laughing at him, like that Bee Gees song, The Joke. I started a joke. And then it started to slowly show up as like, yeah, if people are going to laugh at you anyway. So just go ahead and laugh with them, and then you'll make more friends, because friends will find a way to laugh with you. But it's the fact that laughter went from ignorant bliss to insecurity and acted like a catalyst for a lesson at the end for enlightenment is what caught me, because laughter was throughout the entirety of the book. People were laughing at him, laughing with him. He was laughing at other people. He was mocking others as he was mocked once in a while, just with the wording. He didn't directly come out and say it. He was able to tell the difference after a while between love and what isn't love, and he was able to realize that he didn't want therapy anymore. He didn't want to do the experiments anymore. He just wanted to be done with it. He didn't mind if he became dumb again. He just wanted to keep the knowledge and read and write. And he did notice something very important, which was whatever he learned last was the first memory to go, which is proven backed by science. It also is really a jarring tale, because he goes back to his mother. He goes back and sees his sister. He goes back and sees his dad after the operation. And the mother had dementia, but she ended up remembering him after. But his little sister did remember him, and his father didn't, but he didn't push for his father's recognition. He felt bad that he lied to his father and didn't tell him, but he also didn't think that his father would truly understand what he's going through because of everything. The mother was very religious, very like into God. I prayed for God to make you better. I prayed for God for healing. I had you pray to God to make you smarter. I had prayed to God to help you become normal and be well liked by other people, and now it's finally happened. And then she kind of slipped back into like a dementia state and started seeing the old Charlie instead of the new Charlie, when he used to be not so there anymore in the head, and ended up touching his sister a little inappropriately, but he was like only 5, he didn't know any better, and his mom scolded and abused him for that and very neglected him for that. And Charlie was smart enough to understand she doesn't see me as I am right now. She sees me as I was when I was 5 years old before the operation. I forgive her. Forgiveness was a strong step, as well as closure and seeking acceptance within yourself. Laughter is truly a great medicine, no matter your intelligence level. But that's basically what I'm getting for my review for The Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. As always with these, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And if you have any other book recommendations you'd like me to review, give a shout out.